Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing fine and are taking care of yourselves. My name is Kanika Tandon and I'm here with a video of class 7th English 2nd. Today I'm going to upload two videos in which I'll be covering chapter number 9, that is the blue umbrella. So in this video I'll be giving you the explanation part of the chapter, and in my next video I'll be giving you the exercise and the question answers of the same chapter. So let us start today's video with the explanation of chapter number 9, the blue umbrella. So this story is about a little girl whose name is Binya, and she has a blue umbrella which she loves with all of her heart. And this whole story is about how that girl Binya saved her blue umbrella from getting destroyed. Binya belonged to a part of Himalayas known as Garhwal. One day she chanced upon a group of picnickers, one of whom gave her a pretty blue umbrella. Binya grew very fond of it. So she used to live in Garhwal, and there was one group of picnickers who gave that blue umbrella to Binya, and she loved it. She never let anybody touch it or lose it anytime. Binya seldom closed the blue umbrella. Even when she had it in the house, she left it lying open in the corner of the room. So she never closed her blue umbrella, and it was always kept in the corner of the room. Whenever Binya went out, whether it was to graze the cows or fetch water from the spring or carry milk to the little tea shop on the Tehri road, she took the umbrella with her. That patch of sky blue silk could always be seen on the hillside. So she used to go with that umbrella everywhere that she go. Since it was of blue color, she never let it. Since it was of blue color, so it was always visible on the hillside. The villagers used the Tehri road to go to the market town. Some used the bus, a few rode on mules, most people walked. Today, everyone on the road turned their heads to stare at the girl with the bright blue umbrella. So whenever they used to go to the market town, they always walked on Tehri road. So some of them took the bus, some of them took mules. You know what mules are? They are not horse, and they are also not donkeys, but they are kind of a mixed breed. So those are mules. In Hindi we call them khachar, if you know what it is. All right. And some people walked. So everyone used to turn around and look at the girl who is always seen with the bright blue umbrella. Binya sat down in the shade of a pine tree. The umbrella, still open, lay beside her. She cradled her head in her arms, and presently she dozed off. It was that kind of day, sleepy, warm, and summery. So she was trying to sleep because that day was kind of summery and warm and sleepy. So she slept. And while she slept, a wind sprang up. It came quietly, swishing gently through the trees, humming softly. It was when joined by other random gusts rushing over the top of the mountains, the trees shook their head and came to life. The wind fanned Binya's cheeks, the umbrella stirred on the grass. So what happened? A wind started to flow, right? And because of that, Binya's umbrella was stirred on the ground. But as she was sleeping, she did not know it. Now, turning to the other page. The wind grew stronger, picking up dead leaves and sending them spinning and swirling through the air. It caught into the umbrella and began to drag it over the grass. Suddenly, it lifted the umbrella and carried it about 6 feet from the sleeping girl. So, because of that wind, the umbrella was going far away from the sleeping girl, that is from Binya. So the umbrella was also going with the flow of the wind. The sound woke Binya. She was on her feet immediately, and then she was leaping down the steep slope. But just as she was within reach of the umbrella, the wind picked it up again and carried it further downhill. So what happened? She got up and saw that her umbrella was going away. So she ran to grab that umbrella, but as soon as she got up at the steep slope, the wind started to flow again, and the umbrella flew away further. Binya set off in pursuit. The wind was in the wicked, playful mood. It would leave the umbrella alone for a few moments, but as soon as Binya came near, it would pick up the umbrella again and send it bouncing, floating, dancing away from her. Okay, so she was ready to chase the umbrella, but chase something, but the wind was in a wicked mood, so it kind of flew again and again, and because of that the umbrella went away and away from that little girl. The hill grew steeper. Pinya knew that after 20 yards it would fall away in a precipice. She ran faster and the wind ran with her ahead of her, and the blue umbrella stayed up in the wind. So what happened, she knew that if the wind does not stop, it will go in the precipice. You know what is it? Is a very steep rock, or a cliff, like खाई जिसको बोलते हैं. So she knew that it would go into the cliff and she won't be able to retrieve it. She won't be able to get it back. A fresh gust picked it up and carried it to the very edge of the cliff. There it balanced for a few seconds before toppling over out of sight. Okay, so then what happened? Then again a little wind blew and the umbrella got stuck at the edge of the cliff, and there it was balanced for a few seconds before it was falling over out of the sight. Now coming on to the next page. Binya ran to the edge of the cliff. Going down on her hands and knees, she peered down the cliff face. About 100 feet below, a small stream rushed between great boulders. Hardly anything grew on the cliff face, just a few stunned brushes, and halfway down, a wild cherry tree growing crookedly out of the rocks and hanging across the chasm. The umbrella had stuck in the cherry tree. And now what happened? As she was running to the edge of the cliff, from the point where the cliff starts, she could see that she saw the umbrella. It was going down, right? Then she saw that there was a stream rushing at on the ground, and there was nothing that was growing around the cliff face. Some bushes were there, a wild cherry tree was also growing, and rocks were hanging. And what happened with the umbrella? Umbrella got stuck in the cherry tree. Now turn to the next page. Binny didn't hesitate. She may have been timid with the strangers, but she was at home on a hillside. So she did not get scared, and she was very timid, like she was very polite and shy in front of the strangers, but she was home on a hillside. She stuck her bare leg over the edge of the cliff and began climbing down. She kept her face on the hillside, feeling her way with her feet, only changing her handhold when she knew her feet were secure. Sometimes she held on the thorny bilberry bushes, but she did not trust the other plants which came away very easily. Okay, so what happened? She was trying to climb down the cliff so that she can go till the cherry tree and get her umbrella back. And she was not even scared of going down, right? She never used to do, she didn't used to do it, but as she was in love with her umbrella, she was going down so that she can get her umbrella. But sometimes she held on to the thorny bilberry bushes, but she was scared that her foot might slip. So to make it secure, she used to hold thorny bilberry bushes. Bilberry is a kind of low growing shrub, okay, and it has blackberries as fruit, but she did not trust any other plant. Loose stones rattled down the cliff. Once on their way, the stones did not stop until they reached the bottom of the hill, and they took over stones with them, so that there was soon a cascade of stones, and Binya had to be very careful not to start a landslide. Okay, so what happens? So the loose stones, the stones that had no home, they started to rattle down the cliff. They started to run down towards the cliff. And then she had to be very careful because it might start a landslide. So she had to be very careful that she cannot be a reason to start a landslide. As agile as a mountain goat, she did not take more than 5 minutes to reach the crooked cherry tree. But the most difficult task remained. She had to crawl down the trunks of the tree, which stood out at the right angles from the cliff. Only by doing this could she reach the trapped umbrella. Okay, so what happened? So as carefully and as quickly she was, as a mountain goat, she ran to the she walked over the cliff. But then the main task was to get the umbrella from the cherry tree. But the cherry tree was at the right angle with the cliff. So it was like she had to go to the branches, through the branches to get the umbrella back. Binya felt no fear when climbing trees. She was proud of the fact that she could climb them as well as Bichu, her brother. Gripping the rough cherry bark with her toes and using her knees as a leverage, she crawled along the trunk of the projecting tree. She was almost within reach of the umbrella. So what happened? She felt like she has no fear as she was climbing the tree. Okay, so according to Binya, she was a better climber than her brother Biju. So what she was doing, she was gripping the cherry bark very hard with her toes and using her knees, and then she crawled towards the trunk and got into the reach where the umbrella was stuck. She noticed with dismay that the blue cloth was torn in a couple of places. She looked down, and it was only then that she felt afraid. She was right over the chasm, balanced precariously about 80 feet above the boulder strewn stream. Looking down, she felt quite dizzy. Her hands shook and the tree shook too. If she slipped now, there was only one direction in which she could fall. Down into the depth of that dark and shadowy ravine. So what happened? When she got the umbrella, she realized that because of the stucking, the cloth on the blue umbrella had been torn from many places. But then what happened? As soon as she grabbed the umbrella, she looked down, and what did she see? She saw that she is at some height where there is stream at the bottom, and when she was looking down, she felt quite dizzy. All right, her head started to go around. Her hands shook and the tree shook too. So her hands started to shake and the tree also started to shake. And then she realized that if something happens and if she fell, she is going to go in one direction only, that is down, and then she will be no more. There was only one thing to do: concentrate on the patch of blue just a couple of feet away from her. She did not look down or up but straight ahead, and wheeling herself forward, she managed to reach the umbrella. So what happened? She was there. There was only one thing that she could do. She could concentrate on the patch that is in front, and then she walked on it quickly and managed to get the umbrella. She could not crawl back with it in her hands, so after dislodging it from the forked branch in which it had stuck, she let it fall, still open, into the ravine below. Cushioned by the wind, the umbrella floated serenely downwards, landing in a thicket of nettles. So what happened? After dislodging it from the forked branch in which it had stuck, she let it fall, still open, into the ravine below. So as the branch was forked, you know what is the meaning of forked? The thing that has thorn like structure. Like we use fork to eat Maggie, it it is shaped in such a way that anything can get stuck in it, right? So the branch was in that way only, which and the umbrella was stuck on that forked branch only. And what did she do? She let it fall still open into the stream below. Cushioned by the wind, the umbrella floated serenely downwards, landing in the thickets of the nettles. So what happens now? They have, because of the wind, it got stuck again. It did not get stuck actually. The umbrella landed in the nettles. Okay, and nettles are a kind of plants. Binya crawled back along the tree of the cherry tree. 20 minutes later, she emerged from the nettle clump. Her precious umbrella had aloft. She had nettle stings all over her legs, but she was hardly aware of the smarting. So what happened? Then 20 minutes, when she crawled back towards the cliff from the cherry tree, then after 20 minutes she had got her umbrella from the nettle clumps, and then she did not even realize that all of the crumbs had stuck over her legs, but she did not put any thought in how they have actually, how the, what do we call it, the thorns that were present in the nettles plant are giving her some kind of pain. Okay, with this, the explanation part of this chapter is over. In my next video, I have given you the question answers and the exercise of the same chapter. I hope you all have understood. Thank you.